coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Alrighty, kids, it is time for a life coach. You can call me right now at 1-800-252-1025, or you can email us. We also enjoy your emails and hope we can help you out through that way at lifecoach@KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let us go to the phones right now and talk to Jennifer in Seattle. Good morning, Jennifer.
Hey, good morning, Danny.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Incredibly well. Thank you for asking. What can I do for you today?
Well, I was calling because I'm having a public storage issue, and I was wondering, I've got a storage unit. It's in my name. The only thing left in it is my boyfriend's friend's stuff, who he basically looked him up and down yesterday and said, I don't have time for this, and walked away from it. And I was wondering if I can just walk away from it as well without being charged for it.
Well, no, you go down. You go to the storage unit or the storage, this building, and you tell them, "Hey, I don't need a storage locker anymore, so I just want to close up my business with you." And they'll say, "Okay." And then you say in passing, "By the way, there's a guy's stuff in here," and he'll say, "Well, he has 10 days to get it, or we're going to throw it out in the streets." You don't really have a problem here. There's no law that says you have to keep this unit. How long have you been keeping this unit just for your friend's stuff?
Well, it hasn't been very long.
Okay.
We've been sharing the unit, but his stuff, he's one person who's taken up about a fifth of the unit.
Right.
With a "can you help me out" situation.
Right.
It's a pretty large, like 10 by 15 unit. But this is the thing.
The cost? What is the cost on something like that?
I called because this is my boyfriend's best friend of 10 years. One of his growing up scrapping.
What's your boyfriend doing about all this?
He was livid yesterday. He doesn't know if he can ever look at him again without punching him in the face. And I really, I don't know what to do about the situation.
I promise you this, Jennifer. If he doesn't look at him without punching him in the face, meaning I'm going to punch him in the face because I think I've got a reason, he'll get arrested and sued. So tell your boyfriend not to punch anybody. You know how I've had all your problems? I've punched people in the face every now and again to get to the years that I am right now, and it never goes well for anybody. Some guy gets a hurt nose and I get sued. Don't tell your boyfriend right now, don't punch anybody in the face. Danny said, don't punch anybody in the face.
That's good advice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But the other thing
I don't really know how to even look at him. Basically, I don't know what to say at this point because all I can do. We went and got him a public storage unit on his own,
right?
That we paid for, and we were on our way to giving him keys to it, and now I feel like I just want to put it on Craigslist as a sublease or something.
Well, you find out what's the value of this junk.
Nothing. It's boxes of crap that to him, I don't know. I feel bad because he's an individual with ADD. He hasn't been able to afford his medicine. He hasn't been able to find a job. But at the same time, I feel like he systematically takes advantage of people around him and uses ADD as an excuse.
I think that's exactly what's happening. ADD absolutely exists. But if you believe everybody talking, everybody and their brother has ADD, and they don't. They have short attention spans, and they don't do what's right, and they do use that as an excuse. Here's what I'm telling you right now. It's an easy answer. I want you to go down there and close the unit up and tell him there's stuff left in there. I have called the guy. He knows. Here's the guy's phone number so you can call the guy. But the second you close that thing down, it is no longer your responsibility. So you're fine. Just go and close it down and stop paying the bills on it, and they will either lock it up or sell it or trash it. So good luck to you, Jennifer, but that's easy. Just don't pay the rent on it, and they'll take care of it for you.
800-252-1025. That's the number you should be calling right now if you've got a question for the life coach, because he has been through it all and can help you figure out what your troubles are. Ben in Seattle, you're on with Danny.
Hiya, Ben.
How you doing today?
I'm all good, buddy. How are you?
Not too bad.
What can I do for you?
Basically, my dad's an ex-Vietnam veteran, and he lives out of state. I'm from Washington State, and he's from Illinois. And basically, I talked with the VA when I was younger, and they told me he's a schizophrenic patient.
Right. By the way, I don't know if you know too much about schizophrenia. That's a big deal. That's, he's not kidding. We're talking about ADHD, and I don't believe it really that everybody doesn't have it. If you get diagnosed by an actual psychiatrist as a schizophrenic, you're probably having some sincere troubles in your life.
Yeah, they put me on medication and stuff like that just to prevent any ongoings. It's a hereditary. It passes on like your hair going bald. It skips a generation, so I might not get it, but my kid probably would. So.
You know what? By the way, that's not necessarily true at all. It is possible. A lot of things are hereditary. But for example, I'm short. My dad was short. Nobody else in my family is short. And that, you know what, don't get too frightened about that. You know, you might want to keep an eye on whatever you think you need to keep an eye on. But I think your kids are going to be just fine. But I think your dad's a real live schizophrenia. It's a chemical imbalance. It's a short circuit in the wiring in his head. And it's a fairly big deal. So what is your question about this guy?
My question is, I used to be able to contact him through the VA. The actual psychiatrist department was helping me out, doing the fact that I was out of state. I was wondering, do you have, because he's just old Vietnam vet, he kind of hides out of public, out of sight, and I'm having I can pull up his police records and stuff like that, but I can't actually get any specific address, and the VA is not really helping me out with it. Do you guys have any recommendations for that?
I do, as a matter of fact. I'll give you the easiest one first. And it's going to sound like kind of a big deal, but, you know, you'd like to know where your dad is. You have the right, and so you're going to pull the trigger on this one. You're going to report him missing to the appropriate authorities. You're going to say, I got a missing person. He's a Vietnam vet. He's got schizophrenia. They're going to jump on their little horses to go and find your dad. You're going to give him last known address, and they're going to do their job. They're not going to be mad at you. They're not going to be mad at him. They're not going to send you a bill for their services. This is what these people do. And the only reason I'm not recommending the VA is for two reasons. You said that you've already tried them and now are not being helpful. And two is, if you watch the news lately, the VA is not in a position to help anybody right now. They need a lot of help themselves. So I'm going to say, call the police in the town your dad lives and say, I love him. I don't think he's a danger to, you know what? Don't even add that. Just say, I got my dad. He's a Vietnam vet. The VA is not being helpful, and he is officially missing. Now, they're going to ask you a couple of questions. How long has it been? When was the last time you talked to him? And as long as it's been more than 24 hours that you have not talked to him and been trying to get a hold of him, they will accept your report of a missing person. They have to. It's their job. And the cops will find him, because you're right. He's just hiding out somewhere. So give the cops a chance to do their job, and they will go out there, and, they'll be very happy and very police and very polite people, these cops, for the most part. But they'll find your dad for you because he's a missing person, and that's their job. Good luck there, Ben.
800-252-1025. Call that number if you have a question for the life coach.
Yeah, you will.
You can also email lifecoach@kzok.com. And remember, change your name if you feel more comfortable, or call yourself anonymous. Now,
do you ever meet anybody in the street, their name is Becky, and think she's lying about her name?
Absolutely.
Me too. Happens all the time. I was at some restaurant, somebody, a girl comes up and goes, oh, I love your show. My name's Becky. And I'm going, no, it's not. Stephanie
in Linwood has sent an email. My good friend is faking an injury to collect on workman's comp.
Yeah, see, so Danny's been through it. Do you remember the story about me throwing myself off a ladder?
Oh, yeah.
I have so been through this. All right, let's go.
My good friend is faking an injury to collect on workman's comp. I think it's wrong, and I feel like reporting it. Of course, I haven't, because it's my friend. Am I wrong to just let this go, or should I report them?
Well, as a citizen, you should report fraud wherever you see it. It comes out. His doctor's appointments and things like that are coming out of taxes and things. Yeah, absolutely. But here's the problem. There's almost nothing you can do. Now, I can't talk. I wish I could talk to you. But my injury, and I'm ashamed, but I was 19, 20 years old, however old I was when I did that. I had a problem. I hurt my back, because that's the big one everybody does, because it's very hard to, pinpoint, is this person lying or not. But they've looked. They don't believe your friend either. I promise you. They absolutely do not. And the money will run out very soon, because they don't believe your friend. And pretty soon, it goes from him just saying that he's hurt to he has to deliver some kind of proof. He's got to go to the doctor. Man, I had to have that. Has anybody seen that archaic medieval times wheel with spikes on it? They roll down your spine and the bottoms of your feet to check the feelings in your feet.
Jeez.
I had to do that. It hurt. You had to act like you couldn't feel it. So they're going to ask him soon enough to prove his injury. So I would say save the friendship. Don't mention it. They'll find him out very soon, because they're going to cut off his benefits very, very soon.
They have private detectives that follow these people people around.
Yes.
all the time now,
If he's
too.
going, I can't bend over. That's they're going to bend him over, sure enough, because they're going to send a guy to follow him. I saw that on the news. A guy said he can't move and he can't bother. He was teaching a karate class. The other guy I saw that couldn't move was actually a furniture mover as his side job, carrying couches and stuff. So yeah, it probably won't get there, but. Yeah, he's going to have to prove it to the state pretty soon, so you should stay out of it. He's not going to get too much money. This will go on for 90 days or 120 days, and then they'll demand proof, and they'll send him to a specialist who's going to run that wheel of pain up and down his back, and he'll say, ow, and the second he says, ow, he's busted.
We've got an email here from Ben in Auburn, writing the life coach. My wife is 55 years old and dresses like she's in her 20s.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Very short skirts, cutoffs, low-cut T-shirts. She still has a nice figure, but what she wears is not appropriate for someone her age. I usually just let it go, but lately we've been invited to more and more company events. I have asked her to at least wear something more age-appropriate for these events, but she refuses.
Yeah, it was a mistake to throw the word age in there. There's another way to say this.
My question is, do I take her to these company events, or do I start to go without her?
Well, if you can handle the flack that's going to come from that, yes, absolutely. I think people have a right to wear what she wears, but there are age-appropriate things. If you're thinking about, let this lady dress the way she wants. In my mind, there is, we got a couple of girls around here that wear the black leggings, the real shiny leggings. Tori wears that. She wears her cool clothes and dresses like she's on the way to a rock show and stuff. And by the way, we all appreciate the way you look, Tori. I'm not saying anything like that. And then there's, what's the other young girl around here? Olivia with the sundresses. Beautiful on her. On a 55-year-old woman, a huge mistake. I would talk it out and tell her you're just trying to do a good deed on it. It's a mistake. You're embarrassing yourself and other people. I would go with that. I'd also offer her a little shopping spree to get more appropriate clothes. If she thinks I have nothing to wear, well, get her something to wear if it's so much pain on you. And then the last resort, and I agree with you 100% on this, stop taking her. You don't want to be taking Mrs. Robinsons to your company events. I think you have a right to not be humiliated. All right, that is all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, life coach. I'm sorry your wife dresses like a teenager. That's so embarrassing. What does my wife call him? 1664s. You see him behind you, oh, that's a 16-year-old. And then they turn around, and it's like, oh, you're 64. It should not be wearing that outfit. That's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Life coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce or men, call 1-800-DIVORCE.